day I have to do something for my recovery. You know, I've been through some bad things in my recovery too, you know. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. All that pain and struggle made me a better person.
In today's episode of Tony vs. the Universe, I am joined with Larry.
What's
What's
up,
up,
man?
Larry? How have you been?
I'm good, man. Good.
Literally haven't seen dude since high school.
Yeah,
it's
been
crazy.
Over a decade, right?
I know. That's really crazy. It's almost been 20. I think, no, I graduated like 20 years ago.
So, 2 decades.
I straight dated myself on the show. So you were born and raised in Ferguson.
Yep, born and raised
Yep.
in Ferguson.
So what side of West Florissant were you born on?
So, you know where Quick Trip was, where all that stuff
Mike Brown
happened
stuff?
with
Yep.
Mike Brown stuff? Behind that.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say Elkins. That wasn't the drive.
It was Oakmont and then North Winds.
Okay, gotcha,
So that's
gotcha.
where I was,
Okay.
raised for a period of time.
Got you. And did you guys ever move like further into Ferguson more?
Yeah, so we end up on the other side of Ferguson in Old Town Ferguson, where all the big 2-story houses
Okay,
are.
gotcha,
So
gotcha.
we end up moving over there
Okay.
for a minute.
Okay. So then what was childhood life like? Did you play sports? You play football? Just anything?
So I did wrestle for a minute,
Okay.
but I broke my arm so many times that
Got you. That's why I didn't wrestle.
yeah.
Just
and then,
saying. The mom and dad in the house?
So my dad died when I was 5 years
Okay.
old. He dealt with drugs and alcohol, and he had liver cancer,
Okay.
and alcohol caught up to him.
Okay.
And he was watching me one day. My mom was out working. She was working 2 jobs to take care of us because my dad was sick. And he was watching me one day, and I look over, and my dad collapsed on the ground, and blood was everywhere. And
At what age? You were 5?
yeah.
No
and
shit.
I had to go next door to the neighbor. We were really close with our neighbors.
Yeah.
And I had to go over there and say something's wrong with my dad. And then,
Yeah.
my dad ended up.
Was
next
it
thing
really?
I know, we were in the hospital.
Was it really hard, like, to take being younger or like older? Did it affect you, like, I guess, in your later years more than your
Yeah,
younger years
I was just too young
to understand?
to understand what was
Right.
even going on. And
Wow.
that was really hard for my mom.
Mhm.
And she's got her progression got deeper with drugs and alcohol. And then she ended up getting remarried to my brother's dad.
Mhm.
They got back together, and things were going really great. It took me a minute to get used to that because for a minute it was just me, my mom, and my brother.
Right.
And then I was comfortable with that, you
Right.
know, being the man of the house.
Right.
And then
Insert.
eventually he grew on me.
Yeah.
And I learned to love him, and I started calling him dad. And
Yeah.
as soon as I start calling him dad, a week later, he was an iron worker.
Yeah.
And you know how high those shell signs are. He fell and broke all his bones. So
No
many
shit.
bones. And he lost so much blood. But he made himself, he was ready to go, but he made himself stay alive just for a minute.
Yeah.
So he could say goodbye to my mom.
Mhm.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what real men do. You
That
know
must
what
have
I
been
mean?
super tough on your mom, though.
Yeah, so it just progressed in more and more drugs and alcohol.
Right.
And she went to a deep depression with it, and she did not take it well at all.
Yeah.
She truly loved both my dad and my stepdad.
Right.
And then, but she did really good by raising me, you know.
Mhm.
And then she ended up getting clean. She ended up going to rehab and turning her life around, and lived an amazing life. Helped a lot of people in recovery, and
Right.
She ended up passing away from cancer.
Okay.
She
I'm
passed
sorry
away.
to hear that.
She passed away sober, so
Okay.
she went out the right way. you
Yeah.
know.
So she did that.
And she did a good job by raising me and
Yeah.
my brother. For
That's
sure.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, it ended up being awesome, but yeah, wow, that's pretty crazy. That's crazy that all of those deaths and just wow, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. How old were you when he fell off?
My stepdad, I was around 12.
Okay, got you. So you're
Yeah.
like about to enter middle school or
Yeah.
something. Okay, huh? Oh, that's wow, man. That's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So how old were you when you got into experimenting? or did it start with alcohol, like a lot of us? Or
Hey man, that's how it starts. It starts off with marijuana
right?
and alcohol,
Okay.
and I was smoking on the weekends, drinking on the weekends, and then that progressed
Right.
into on the school nights. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it just came into more and more. And my biggest thing, man, is like I I know I was trying to fit in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I was in North Winds on the other side of West Florissant, I was the only white kid for real.
Right.
So like I was trying to fit in with
With the people that in the
yeah,
neighborhood. Right.
exactly.
Right.
And so when we moved on the other side, I had
It was a different
it
vibe.
was
It
a
was a little.
different vibe, and
Yeah.
they were calling me a wigger and
Hmm.
things like that. So I had to fit in again.
Right.
So I that's how I was trying to fit in with people,
Hmm.
and that's what they were doing with drugs and alcohol.
But that's the craziest thing. We talked about that on a previous podcast episode where people say that, but it's like you a product of your environment. You're like, this is what I know, it's what I hang out, you know what I'm saying? And then you move to a different area and they don't look at it that way. It's pretty crazy, dude.
Absolutely.
That's wild. So about what age were you when you started drinking? I
About
guess like
11,
most of us.
11 or 12.
Okay. And is
Yeah.
that like sneaking in and just getting stuff, or is that just, your
My
buddies
fir-
having it?
my first alcohol experience was with my brother. He was 16 years old,
Okay.
and he celebrated a big party.
Got you.
And they had a big party,
Mhm.
like 11 or 12, and they had a keg, and
Mhm.
I'm smoking cigarettes and drinking beer.
It's like nothing's
And
ever wrong.
I got all these big teenagers, like this little ass dude. And then,
Right.
but it made me feel good because they were
Yeah.
enjoying this little kid drinking,
Yeah.
like amazed, like
You were
this
accepted.
little. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
accepted.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
So then about what age was it marijuana first?
yeah, it was marijuana. That was when I was like sixth grade.
Gotcha.
Started experiencing
Yeah.
marijuana.
So then heroin was a drug of choice.
Yeah, and then I found heroin,
Mhm.
and man, it was like completely took a hold of me.
Yeah.
And at first it was cool. I enjoyed getting high
Mhm.
because it was tar heroin,
Got you.
so it was easy to get. It was easy to last longer,
Right.
and
So is a
the quality.
yeah, as I was saying, is a black tar like cheaper than I
Yeah.
guess? Okay.
So you can make it last you a long time.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a party drug for real
Yeah.
at first for me and my friends.
Yeah.
We would go out and drink at all these parties and do other drugs and be doing heroin too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then China White came out, and then that's when I built a tolerance on it,
Got you.
and I started getting sick for real,
Mhm.
sick, and
Getting sick because you weren't doing enough, or is it because of quality?
all of it.
Got you.
So I built a tolerance, and like if you don't have it, you're sick,
Right.
and you're like flu 10 times.
So like withdrawals is just
Yeah,
super sick. Like
it's a
COVID
hard-
times 10. Or
it's
something.
a hard game.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I'm not even getting high no more. I'm
Yeah.
just doing it to function, and I hated that. And
Mhm.
my biggest things were like going to work, paying all this money just not to be sick.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I have nothing to show for my life.
Yeah.
I have no car, nothing. Can't do nothing for nobody because I can't do nothing for myself.
Right.
It was very stressful, and it's like a job on top of a job,
Right.
and it's just
So 80%, 70% of your paycheck went to?
yeah, dude. So literally, this is my story. So I would get my check on Tuesday, right? I would spend that, and I would already have to pay people back.
Right. People that front
Because I would borrow money from all the drivers,
Mhm.
and that progressed too, no more.
Right.
So I would ask all the drivers for money, and they would let me borrow it because I would give it back, and that's why that was my hustle. because I would have to pay them back, or if I don't pay them back, they're not going to let me borrow money anymore.
Right.
So I would make sure I would pay them back. But dude, it got bad where I would ask the managers for money, big managers for money. I even asked the boss,
Right.
and then it went to the owners.
Did anybody know that this was going on, or were they just
So with my, I was I was a functioning addict for a
Gotcha.
very long time. I was really good at hiding and lying with
Mhm.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends that didn't deal with the heroin and hardcore drugs, they wouldn't understand it, like how I could keep my composure with the heroin and stay clean and
Right.
work a job.
Still work. Yeah.
And it used to piss me off though, because it's like deep down you don't even know.
Right.
And had that mask on for a very long
Yeah.
time, but after a while, people start noticing it. Man, I couldn't
Yeah.
hide it no more.
I feel like there was an entire wave that just it seems like it just took over North County or like Ferguson in general, and it just took a lot of people with them, if that makes sense, or with it, should I say?
Big time, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There was people that in our community of Ferguson and went to McClure, people that you would never think would be getting on hardcore drugs or heroin, and
they were.
did. You know,
Yeah.
it's like me. I was like, man, I would never be like that. I would never do that.
Right.
And I was that guy who did that.
So how long were you consistently using then? I guess, or just being able to function so you're not sick?
So I was getting high for the first I was getting high for 17 years straight.
Got you.
My first 10 years were great.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You know, I got a job. I stay with my mom. I'm my mama's boy.
Mhm.
I got no responsibilities, nothing. She ain't making me pay rent. You know what I mean? I ain't got to pay nothing but my habit.
Right.
So it was all good. And then my last 7 years was a living hell.
So
And
now that's where you're struggling to get out.
yeah,
of
so like my mom's got cancer, man, and like I'm ready. I'm like really ready to quit.
Right.
But dealing with my mom going through that, seeing my mom go through that,
Mhm.
it was hard for me, and it was like numbing it up with drugs. And you know, I was helping my mom through her sickness,
Right.
so a lot of numbing with the drugs.
Yeah.
You know, and then she passed away, and then
Did you sink back?
I got deeper in with the drugs, and then I was mixing the drugs, right?
Mhm.
Mixing all these drugs. I really wanted an easy way out. I felt like I've been getting high for so long.
Right.
Like I just lost my mom. 2 months later, I lose my sister.
Yeah.
3 months after that, I lose my nephew to a heroin overdose. Had no clue he was on it. And
So it's almost like you have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah,
This is
I'm just
the
like-
ex-
I'm ready, man.
yeah.
And then one morning, I go down to get my normal fix,
Mhm.
and I'm sick, and I have old girl get it, and she comes back, and I look at it, I'm like, man, this is garbage.
Right.
Just hit me with the whole 5. I got to get to work.
Mhm.
She hits me with the whole 5.
So you could eyeball it and tell that it was some trash.
Yeah.
Got you.
Do it, and I wake up to the paramedics all around me telling me I almost died, and they
No
had to,
shit.
and they had to hit me with Narcan 2 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Where were you when this happened? In your house?
No, I was actually down the street.
Okay,
at
gotcha.
this girl's house who used to hit me because
Yeah.
my arms were so bad I
Yeah.
couldn't hit myself. So
Yeah.
I would just pay her a couple to hit me.
Mhm.
And man, I woke up and they're like, "You need to go to the hospital," and I'm like, "I ain't going to the hospital." You know what I mean? And something strange happened on that walk home. It hit me that I didn't want to go out like this.
Right.
There's no way I'm gonna go out like this. And I'm thinking about my mom, thinking about my daughter,
Right.
and I could actually feel my mom in heaven. My mom was a very spiritual woman. I could feel my mom in heaven, like in tears, like
This isn't what she wanted for you.
this is not what she wanted for me. And So I'm reflecting on all these things, thinking about my daughter, and something hit me, man. Nobody's coming to save me this time.
Right.
My mom's gone. It's time to man up.
Yeah.
It's time to man up and make some changes. You know what I mean? And prior 2 weeks before that, I surrendered to God. I had my Blessed Mary Mother. My mom left me. That's the only thing I had left. And I was just holding it. And I was like, God, I need help. Just simple.
Right.
Like, God, I need help, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like God took me through that to see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God will take you through something to get you through something.
Right.
And that's what it was for me.
Yeah.
And
so what was the first step to getting help? How did you reach out to?
So the first step was I couldn't do it no more, dude. Like I tried so many different ways to quit on my own. Like I tried to do just marijuana. I tried to do like maintenance with Suboxone. Suboxone, all this methadone, all this stuff. Nothing was working my way. And then got into rehab. That's what it was. I reached out and asked for help. It was I surrendered, and I asked for help.
Right.
And that was hard for me though, because like I was a mama's boy, so my mom was always doing something for me. You know what I mean? But this time
it's just on you.
It's on me, man. It's time for me to man up. It's time for me to make these changes.
Yeah.
So I had to pick up that phone, and that was hard. And I reached out and asked for help, and they got me into treatment. And it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I kept calling places, and
I can only imagine that's not easy.
You know what I mean? But
so
I didn't give up, though.
Right.
You know, I just kept calling different places, and I ended up getting into treatment. And that was it was hard to get clean, but it's even harder to stay clean.
Right. And I've heard that before.
You know what I mean? So when I got out, the first step was changing people, places, and things. And those places and things I knew would be too trigger for me. The people, man.
You just got to let them go.
Gotta let them go. But I knew I couldn't surround myself around those people. I knew how it would be.
Right.
You know, I get out, they would be like, hey, oh, I'm so proud of you. You know, because they know you got a little money in your pocket now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're going to tell you who's got the fire, and they're going to tell you it's all good.
Right.
And I got you next week.
It just enticed you to go right back in.
And then if I did that, we're going to go get high and it's going to be all good.
Right.
But eventually, guess what happens? The drugs and alcohol are gone and ain't nobody around.
Yep.
Or eventually, it's going to be out of your system. Your getting high buddies are not going to be there.
Right.
But see, now that I'm in recovery, I have true friends in my life. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. Like, we help each other, and we just do it because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
We don't ask nothing in return. You know what I mean? And that's what real life's about. But the biggest thing is, man, you are who you surround yourself around with.
Yep.
So I'm sober now. So I have to surround myself around sober people that's been through this and doing it now. And that's what I did, and that's what helped me.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, well, that was one of my questions that I had down was, I guess it's hard for people to quit when you have other people around you doing it.
Yeah.
Or even offering it to you.
But you got to really want it hardcore deep down.
Yeah.
Like, see, I hit rock bottom inside my soul. So I was willing to go to any lengths.
Right.
So I was willing to change everything, you know. But a big part of my story, what helped me too, is God. When I was in rehab, they took us to rehab. They took us to church. And that really helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
And I built a relationship with God, and I
Yeah.
got baptized. And when I got baptized, I was sincere and real and from the heart, and was like, God, I want to,
Yeah.
I want to work Your will, not my will, and I just want to live a life at peace. I don't want to go back to that life,
Yeah.
and I need Your help and go through me,
Yeah.
work through me, and He's been doing it. But at the same time, it's like I gotta put the action in. I could pray and wait for a miracle, but that's not how it
Right.
works.
And that was the first step. And now you
Yeah,
have to actually
yeah,
put the work in to
yeah,
doing that. Yeah.
and that's by praying.
Yeah.
And not just praying on my good days and bad days. I gotta pray every day, no matter what.
So after the fact that a lot of other people reach out then,
Cause
after
see,
you've been,
yeah, cause see, when I was in my addiction, I always believed in God,
Mhm.
but my prayers weren't real. They were fake. They were phony.
Right.
Just my wants and my needs. I ain't doing that no more.
just selfish prayers.
Selfish prayers.
Yeah.
Now it's praying for others and
Yeah.
just praying for God how He would want me to be. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And He's been working through me. God's doing for me what I couldn't do for myself,
Right.
and I'm involved in my church now.
Mhm.
I get to do work for Him and things like that. I hold a sign outside. I just got the position to be a mascot for the kids.
Yeah.
Open doors and things like that, and I love it.
Yeah. It's a completely different lifestyle. It makes you feel good.
It's a different lifestyle.
Yeah. So at any point before the ambulance issue or you ODing, did you try to stop before that?
Man, so like I had all these habits, dude.
Mhm.
So I had a really bad heroin habit. I had a methadone habit, and
So
Trying
you're
to
trying to stop and you're
trying
adding
to
stuff
get
on.
off
And,
get off get off methadone is 10 times worse.
yeah.
Because of the sickness. It sticks to your bones and makes you really weak. So I tried to just do the methadone thing, and it didn't work
Yeah.
out. So I had the heroin, and methadone, and marijuana, and then I ended up getting addicted to crack.
Yeah.
So I had all these habits, man, and it was it was hard.
So when you're addicted to all of these other things, you were trying to stop this, so you would add this in there and then add that in there, and it just created a snowball of like something crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm lucky it didn't kill me by
Yeah.
the grace of God, because mixing drugs is not good.
No.
So,
So at any point, I guess you could look back at it hindsight now. How much were you using, like from when you started? I'm assuming when you started, you were using very little, and then
yeah.
towards the end, you're probably using more, way more, right?
Yeah, but some days, no. I didn't come from a family with money, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I had to hustle. Sometimes I'd be grateful if I could just get $20 to get me through, half the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you got your good days, you got your bad days.
Got
It's a
you.
lot of hustling, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? A lot of middleman things like that. And
Yeah.
it takes a lot of work.
Man,
If you ain't getting it easy.
So how many years have you been sober now?
I have 5 years and 3 months.
That is great.
Yeah,
Actually, that's fantastic.
by God's grace.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
And then you're still participating in the rehab. You're still participating in.
Absolutely, man.
Is it like is it like a sponsor, like a Big Brother sort of thing, where you're helping other people work
Absolutely.
through it? Okay.
So, like, I got very passionate about recovery because it saved my life. And I want to give back now, man. What was freely
Right.
given to me, I want to show these people that, recovery is possible. And I just share my experience and hope somebody can get something out of it and turn their life around.
Right.
That's what makes me happy is see, like, watching somebody come from the bottom, just like I did, come from nothing, trying to turn their lives around
Mhm.
and get involved in recovery and build these amazing lives. And I
Right.
get to watch that. That makes me happy, man.
Yeah.
Watching people grow. That's what life's about, man.
Right.
Growing, right?
It's about helping other people,
It's
right?
about helping other people, helping each other, right?
Right.
Like, for instance, the other day I was on delivery, right?
Mhm.
And I used to get high with this guy. I'm rolling down, and I seen this guy I used to get high with. he used to panhandle. He was homeless. I mean, he was so bad out there. We got connected in recovery again. You know what I mean? But I look over, and this dude's running down the street, happy, holding his baby girl.
Complete 360.
Complete 360. And man, that brought so much joy to me, man. Like
Right.
I couldn't even stop, bro. I was like, I got it.
Yeah.
He's in the moment, like
Right.
that's what makes me happy, and that's what I do,
Yeah.
and that's what I love, helping people, you know.
I'm glad there should be more people like you. Just saying.
There is.
I guess when you get to that level, you get enjoyment out of watching other people get happy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Huh. All right. So I got another question for you. It may seem a little bit harder, I guess. But during, I guess, while you were using, even when you had closer friends or friends pass, that doesn't deter people from still wanting to use?
Nah,
Or is it just like, I mean, okay.
yeah, because the disease is so powerful and baffling, man. When it's like a demon, man. It's
Yeah.
got you, boy.
it's
It's
just
hard.
hard to get out.
It's just really hard.
Got you. Okay.
You know?
Man, so you're wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
Sober
man.
Gang Life.
Sober Gang Life. The merch is out.
So tell me, how did that get started?
So, I got on TikTok. See, I was trying to build my brand on Facebook and my group page. I was really passionate about, I still am, about my
Right.
group page. I built this group page. It started for the community so we can all communicate, you know, and stay connected in recovery in the community.
Right.
So, like, if people don't know what recovery events are going on, meetings, just so we can help each other. Maybe somebody posts a story,
Yeah.
you know, or a recovery quote, you know, those things help each other, you know,
Right.
and that's why I did it. And it does help people, but it wasn't no engagement, nothing, you know, and I want to, and that's what keeps me going is in my recovery. You know, I got to chase this recovery just like I used to chase the dope, man.
Right.
You know, and I wasn't really getting no attraction, you know, and I got my friend tried to get me on TikTok a few years ago.
You sound like me now.
A few years ago, he's like, man, he's like, this would be a good platform for you, man. You should jump on it.
Yeah.
And so I got it started, you know, and I was just looking at girls on there, but to tell you the truth, I didn't even know how to work the thing.
Yeah. I
So
still don't.
so I kind of gave up on it, you know.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened,
Mhm.
where I couldn't go to no recovery, nothing recovery.
Oh man, I wouldn't even think about that.
That was a bad time for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do nothing. I mean, in that time, I have a routine what I do, and I like to live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't there, and I had no different outlet.
Right.
Now I have a different outlet, which is health and working out.
Right.
And I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't do nothing, no recovery, nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm bored. So I just get on TikTok and I'm just strolling and I see somebody post a recovery video. And I'm like,
I can
seen
do
another
those.
recovery video.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, they got a platform good for recovery. Like these people are really connected with each other. I'm like, damn, I need to make me a video.
Yeah.
So I
And
started
that's how it gets started.
start telling my story, man, and then I built the following, and I love it, man.
My
And-
wife's been telling me to TikTok. I just got one like a few weeks ago. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want that. And then now, like,
Yeah.
I can actually reach out to people. Like, that's crazy.
because man, I'm recovery out loud, man.
Right.
And see, we are too on TikTok,
Mhm.
and a lot of people ain't with that recovery out loud. They want us to be quiet and private and things like
Right.
that. And some people I understand, you know, they're private with the recovery. I respect that.
Right.
You know, but with promoting recovery, it's hard. I mean, for me at least, it's hard to get, some love on with it, support with it,
Right.
I actually get more support from my friends and family than people in my own recovery community. And it's like, dude, we're in recovery together. Like, we got to be sticking together.
Yeah.
And so
That's how I feel sometimes about yeah.
So I got really big into TikTok, and then I was like, I'm gonna come out with some merch.
Yeah.
And got the clothing line out. A little slow at first, but now we're starting to pick up on selling.
Yeah.
And all the profits are going to something good,
Positive,
you know.
right.
So it'd probably be my piece will be going next to my next video I'm gonna be doing. I'm working on that right now.
Okay.
And then I'm working on something big where I'm putting my profits into a recovery barbecue.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're taking a step. You took the steps to get better, and then you're taking the steps to help other people.
Because it's
and then
all about
inspire other
giving
people.
back, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Have you received any like feedback from people on TikTok or like Facebook about your videos, like saying thank you? They needed to hear stuff like that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do get some love on Facebook, but there's like a lot more love on TikTok. So I'm gonna be real with you, man. It's like people that know you, not everybody's gonna support you. It's
Right.
it's a mixture of things, you know.
Right.
They don't want to see you recovering out loud. They want you to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just don't want to see you do good.
Right.
Some people don't want to see you do better than them. You know,
Right.
it's just how it is.
Yeah. And I
But
can
on
understand
TikTok, it's strangers that don't even know you.
And they're supporting you more.
And
than
they're
anything.
supporting you more than anything.
Yeah.
But that's life, man.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that you were doing the sober life. Like I said, I used to see the videos on Facebook, you and Babcock, and then he'd be speaking and all this. I'm like, what are they doing? You guys be traveling other places? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so I'd be helping him out with the podcast Powertrain, you know,
Okay.
helping, you know, set up things and, you know, just
Yeah.
being a part of that.
I have
And,
yet to
and
meet
learning and growing, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And at the same time, I get to do my thing. As I'm watching and learning and growing from them, you know, I do my thing. And I make recovery documentary videos. So
Yeah.
we got our cameraman, and then I do my thing.
I'm pretty sure there's there's probably a lot of people that need those videos, actually.
I know it. I know it's helping people because of TikTok. I watch TikTok, and I see how these videos are helping people, man.
Right.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And times are different. Things are going to change.
Right.
And it's helping people. I know it is.
Now I need to put more effort into my TikTok. You got me down in the basement doing dances, bro.
It's a good platform. And I have fun with it. And
Yeah.
it's just, I'm very passionate about it,
Yeah.
man.
So how can someone get help?
So there's so many things with the internet now. Like, it ain't like back in the day, you know, like you got your phone now.
Right.
So like you can Google it. You can Google treatment centers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can go to a hospital, you know, but the biggest step is you got to reach out and ask for help.
Right.
If you reach out and ask for help, somebody's going to help you. There's connections out there. You just got to be willing to put the work in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you're struggling, holler at me.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, I got the recovery group page. Go to Sober Gang Life.
And that's on Facebook and
Yeah,
TikTok?
there's always support on that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I have friends that work in the fields.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll get you some help. It's kind of hard when you don't have insurance, but
Right.
we'll get you there.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can always go to Bridgeway in St. Charles if you're in my community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of these rehabs that when you don't have insurance,
Mm-hmm.
they have a thing called a waiting list. So if you get on the waiting list, you know, get you in there, you just got to hold tight.
So the first step is just to reach out.
The first thing is reaching out, man.
And if you don't know the resources, you can reach out and find some resources.
Close mouths don't get fed.
Right. Trust me, I know that all too well. Just saying. Well, man, that's great. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
man.
came on, man.
Yeah, I am too, man. Thanks for having me on.
I'm
man. I appreciate
super
it,
happy
brother.
about the sobriety. Like I said, I see the
appreciate
videos
it.
all the time, and I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I got a list of people that I need to get on, and I was like, oh, let me reach out. And I was dragging my feet with the podcast, but now I'm happy that
It's good,
I did
man.
it. Yep,
You're going to kill it.
I know. Hopefully.
You will. You will. Just
Well,
gotta,
thank you for joining.
gotta
me on
keep
the
putting the
episode.
work in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Try
man.
to. I need to do like 8 episodes a week. Just saying.
Cool.
All right, man. Well, thank you. I
Yep.
appreciate you, man.
Yep.